From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang in review. Maharlika Investment Corporation or MIC signed an agreement with Synergy Grid and Development Philippines Incorporated or SGP to acquire 20% stake in the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines or NGCP. The deal is poised to give the government more influence over the country's power grid operations. According to a Presidential Communications Office or PCO news release, the signing of the agreement was witnessed by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. in Malacañang on Monday afternoon. The agreement was signed by MIC President and Chief Executive Officer Rafael Consing Jr. and SGP Chairman Henry C. Jr. The deal will be MIC's first investment since its inception in July of 2023. Under the deal, MIC will purchase preferred shares in SGP, granting the government a 20% stake in the company, which holds a significant 40.2% effective ownership in NGCP, the operator of the country's power grid. Consing noted that the deal will also provide the government with board seats in both SGP and NGCP. The investment is seen as a crucial step for the government to regain control over the nation's vital power infrastructure. Since 2009, the NGCP has had full control over the management and operation of the country's nationwide transmission system under a 25-year concession granted by Congress. The agreement allows for the possibility of a 25-year extension. Consing emphasized that this investment is important for protecting the country's power supply from external threats and ensuring that the government has a voice in key decisions made by the NGCP. The National Transmission Corporation, a government agency created under the Electric Power Industry Reform Act of 2001, owns the country's transmission assets, while the NGCP operates the grid itself. Meanwhile, Department of Energy or DOE Secretary Rafael Lutilla welcomed the deal that is anchored on the Philippine Development Plan or PDP 2023 to 2028 approved by President Marcos. In a news release, Lutilla said, "This is a step towards attaining the administration's goal of ensuring security of supply, reliability, affordability, and promoting competition in the power sector." The PDP 2023 to 2028 states that the government should revisit and re-evaluate financing investment in transmission. It added that investment in transmission expansion offers enormous potential benefits for efficiency by increasing access to low-cost generation, improving reliability, and counterbalancing market power.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday expressed deep sorrow following the death of Philippine cinema legend and veteran actress Gloria Romero, describing her as one of the great icons of the industry. In a statement, the president said he was deeply saddened to hear of the passing of one of Philippine cinema's great icons. Reflecting on their first meeting, President Marcos shared that he first met Gloria Romero on the set while filming Iginuhit ng Tadhana and have been an admirer of her work as an actress ever since. Iginuhit ng Tadhana, or in English, Sketched by Fate, is a 1965 biographical film about former President Ferdinand E. Marcos Sr., where Romero portrayed the former First Lady Imelda Marcos. President Marcos, then an 8-year-old, portrayed himself. The chief executive also praised Romero not only for her talent but also for her character. President Marcos Jr. concluded by acknowledging Romero's lasting impact on the entertainment industry. Romero was widely regarded as the queen of Philippine cinema. She received numerous awards including Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress awards from FAMAS, Film Academy of the Philippines, Gawad Urian Awards, among others. Romero passed away on Saturday at the age of 91.
Dateline Malacañang.
Still on Monday, Malacañang confirmed President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has granted former Iloilo City Mayor Jed Patrick Mabilog executive clemency. Mabilog's camp announced Monday morning that President Marcos has granted him executive clemency. Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin confirmed this in a text message to reporters. In a separate statement, Bersamin said, penalties or disabilities in connection with his administrative case will be removed. Mabilog was dismissed in 2017 for misconduct and dishonesty. He was also included in then-President Rodrigo Duterte's controversial narco list, an accusation he has vehemently denied. However, no charges were filed against him regarding illegal drugs. Fearing for his life, Mabilog went on a self-imposed exile and only returned to the country after 7 years. On September 19, 2024, Mabilog appeared in a congressional hearing in a bid to clear his name from the allegations of drug ties. Mabilog is facing graft charges before the Office of the Ombudsman for allegedly meddling with the awarding of a government contract to a towing services firm in which he and a former Iloilo City councilor allegedly have a vested interest. In a media interview, Bersamin said Malacañang found justification in Mabilog's declaration that he was unable to explain questions on his wealth, which led to his eventual dismissal because he was away the country at the time. With the executive clemency granted, Mabilog is now allowed to run for public office.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has instructed the Department of Migrant Workers, or DMW, to provide comprehensive support for the 17 Filipino seafarers of MV Galaxy Leader who recently returned to the country after being freed by Houthi rebels. In a news release Tuesday, the DMW said Migrant Workers Secretary Hans Leo Kakdak relayed the President's message to the seafarers and their families at a Thanksgiving Mass at the agency's office in Mandaluyong City on Monday. The President said, "Let us help them rise again." The DMW chief referred to the freed seafarers as the Courageous 17 after enduring 428 days of mental and psychological trauma while in Houthi captivity. The Houthis hijacked the cargo vessel MV Galaxy Leader near Hodeidah in November of 2023 while en route to India, taking hostage its 25 crew members, including the 17 Filipinos. He said the seafarers and their families already received financial assistance, training certificates, and gift bags from the DMW, the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, or OWA, and the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, or TESDA. Kakdak earlier assured employment, livelihood support, educational assistance, and medical care for the seafarers and their families. The Department of Health, or DOH, also committed to offering comprehensive medical and psychosocial support, while OWA vowed to continuously communicate with the Seafarers Manning Agency, the Sea Power Shipping Enterprises Incorporated, to assist each of the crew members, especially on the benefits that they would receive from the owner of the MV Galaxy Leader. Meanwhile, Kakdak thanked the Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, for their efforts in facilitating the safe release and return of the seafarers. He also recognized the support provided by the Department of Transportation, or DOTR, during the crisis.
Dateline Malacañang.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. extended his greetings to the Filipino-Chinese community and the entire nation as the country celebrates the Chinese New Year on Wednesday. In his message, the president described the occasion as a cherished one, steeped in centuries-old tradition and joy. President Marcos emphasized that this year's Chinese New Year, which ushers in the Year of the Snake, symbolizes hope, renewal, and resilience. The chief executive called on Filipinos to draw inspiration from these values, especially during times of adversity. President Marcos Jr. urged the Filipino people to use the occasion as a catalyst for self-improvement and to pursue ambitious goals not just for personal gain but for the greater good of the nation. The president also reflected on the symbolism of the vibrant lanterns typically associated with the celebration, likening them to the bright future that the nation could achieve if united in purpose. He called on Filipinos to deepen their commitment to building a Bagong Pilipinas, or New Philippines, a nation marked by new beginnings, fruitful endeavors, and stronger bonds among its people. President Marcos expressed hope that the Year of the Snake would guide the nation with its wisdom, empowering Filipinos to move through life with grace and resilience. January 29 has been declared a special non-working holiday nationwide in observance of Chinese New Year.
Dateline Malacañang.
Also on Wednesday, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. expressed plans to hold monthly job fairs across the country in a bid to further bring down unemployment rate. Speaking at the Job Street CareerCon 2025, held at the SMX Convention Center in Pasay City, the president revealed that the government is keen on expanding employment opportunities through regular career events. The CareerCon 2025 is organized by Job Street in partnership with the Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE, with over 150 employers and some 8,000 job vacancies. President Marcos said 18,000 job seekers have registered to participate in the event, which aims to provide employment opportunities across various industries ranging from entry-level positions to senior roles. The chief executive also emphasized that the government's efforts on upskilling and reskilling of workers, led by the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, or TESDA. The country's unemployment rate further went down to 3.2% in November last year from 3.6% in the same month of 2023, the Philippine Statistics Authority, or PSA, reported early this month. The employment rate rose to 96.8% from 96.4% in November 2023. Let us listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
Ito po ay pinagsama-sama na po natin lahat ng pangangailangan ng isang nag-a-apply para sa trabaho, hindi lamang dito sa Pilipinas, pero kundi pati sa abroad. At hindi lamang nag-a-apply ngayon ang ating mga prospective na employee at pumupunta sa isang isang korporasyon at nagsasabi, mag-a-apply kami, tapos bahala na, tapos na. Babalitaan ko na lang kayo kung ano yung kung kukunin kayo o hindi. Hindi na po ganoon. Mas mabigat at mas malakas ang suporta ngayon ng pamahalaan para naman kayo ay mas may kakayanan upang makakuha ng magagandang trabaho. Mababa na po na ngayon, binababa po natin ang unemployment rate. Pakaunti na lang ng pakaunti ang hindi empleyadong Pilipino. Ngunit, hindi pa kami tapos doon. Ay kailangan kung ano man ang hawak nilang trabaho, dapat tinatawag na quality job na may potential na ma-promote, na maging mas maganda, o kung sakali man ay magtatayo ng sariling negosyo na tinutulungan naman natin at tutulungan po natin upang makapag-expand, upang kuminsan yung iba na magsisimula. Napakahalaga po ng kooperasyon ng mga sa private sector, mga negosyante po, mga korporasyon. Andito po si Ma'am Tessie Coson, siya ay mula sa simula, lagi siyang nandyan. At binuksan niya sa SM ng mga mall, nagbukas sila ng mga job fair na ganito at naging napaka-successful. Kaya't naman, pinagsama-sama natin lahat ng mga iba't ibang sektor upang matiyak na handa ang ating mga prospective employees na makapagtrabaho. Halimbawa, yung ating ginagawa ngayon, dati, kagaya ng aking nasabi, mag-a-apply, bahala na kung titignan natin kung makuha o hindi. Ngayon, kasi nagbabago po ang labor market, hindi na kagaya ng dati. At iba na ang pangangailangan ng mga negosyo, ng mga korporasyon. Ibang klase ng mga workers ang kanilang hinahanap. Kaya't naging mahalaga yung tinatawag po na reskilling na binibigyan po natin ng bagong kakayahan o upskilling, pinapagaling pa natin doon sa kanilang ginagawa na. Kaya ngayon kapag sinabi ng ina-applyan ninyo, sasabihin, kailangan marunong kayo sa ganito, kailangan marunong kayo sa ganyan. Kung mapakita ninyo, na kaya ninyo yung mga skill set na yun, yung mga na nakapag-training kayo doon sa mga gagamitin ng makinarya, doon sa sistema sa opisina, kailangan ma-training. Kaya naman, nandyan po ang TESDA. Sasaluhin po ng TESDA at magbibigay ng libre na training para makapag-qualify yung ating mga aplikante sa kanilang hinahanap na trabaho. Kaya sa ngayon, sa araw na ito, ang pagkasabi sa akin, ang nakapag-register 18,000 sa ngayong araw. Sana naman yung karamihan dyan ay makahanap ng trabaho. Kaya ito po ay parang pilot project din po ito dahil nakita namin nung ginagawa namin kasama nga ng SM, napaka-successful. So sabi namin, subukan natin na dalasan. Kaya ito medyo pilot project ito. Kung maganda ang maging resulta, ang plano talaga namin ay gagawa kami ng ganito ng isang ganito bawat buwan para mapuntahan. At hindi lamang dito sa Maynila, kung hindi sa iba't ibang lugar din. At para naman, kahit na hindi na kailangan mapunta rito sa Maynila, sa NCR, at puntahan natin yung mga nais mag-apply sa iba't ibang probinsya sa labas. Kaya po, pagka nakita natin na marami tayong nailagay, na ipwesto sa magagandang trabaho, yung aking nabanggit na mga quality jobs, kapag nakita natin, pagpatuloy po namin itong programa ito para lahat naman ng ating mga kababayan ay mabigyan ng pagkakataon upang makahanap ng magandang trabaho para sa kanilang hanap buhay, para sa kanilang pamilya, at kasama na rin dyan para sa Pilipinas.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
On Wednesday, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has certified as urgent the proposed measure postponing the parliamentary elections in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, or BARM. Presidential Communications Office, or PCO, Acting Secretary Cesar Chavez confirmed President Marcos's certification in a text message to reporters Wednesday. This as Senate President Francis Escudero disclosed that the President certified the measure seeking the postponement of the BARM polls. However, it is unclear which version of the bill was certified urgent. The PCO said the chief executive said the move would address the urgent need of the Bangsamoro transitional government to realign its governance structure. It will also ensure that the region's aspirations for unity, inclusivity, and genuine autonomy are achieved. According to the PCO, a copy of the letter was also transmitted to House Speaker Martin Romualdez and Secretary Mark Leandro Mendoza, President and Advisor on Legislative Affairs and Head of the Presidential Legislative Liaison Office. The Senate version, which passed the upper chamber's second reading on Tuesday, seeks to move the BARM polls from May 11, 2025 to October 2025. On the other hand, the bill that was approved on third and final reading in the House of Representatives proposed to defer the polls to May of 2026. The first parliamentary election in BARM is set to be held simultaneously with this year's midterm elections in May.
Dateline Malacañang.
Good percentage of Filipinos are happy and remain contented with the performance of the administration of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Based on the fourth quarter survey conducted by the Social Weather Station, or SWS, 59% of Filipinos approve of the overall performance of the Marcos administration. 23% are not happy with the administration, while 17% are unsure. This has an equivalent net satisfaction rating of plus 36, which remains to be good. Among the government programs the public is delighted with are helping victims during times of disasters, improving children's education, helping the poor, generating jobs, and developing science and technology. When compared to the previous quarter, the national government's satisfaction rating went up in 7 issues, including being ready during times of strong storms, defending the country's sovereignty in the West Philippine Sea, ensuring food security, and proper public transportation. The survey was conducted from the 12th to the 18th of December with 2,160 respondents 18 years old and above, and has a sampling error margin of plus minus 2.
Dateline Malacañang.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Thursday called for a legal system that serves all Filipinos, urging the legal community to reinforce the foundations of the legal profession and ensure inclusive justice. In his speech at the 20th National Convention of Lawyers in Cebu City, the President focused on the role of lawyers in making justice accessible to all Filipinos, particularly those who are underserved. Organized by the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, or IBP, the convention gathers legal professionals from across the country and aims to strengthen the foundations of the legal community. President Marcos welcomed the 3,962 newly sworn-in lawyers, urging them to take on the responsibility of shaping a fairer and more inclusive society. The chief executive also stressed the need for law schools to adapt to the evolving demands of the profession, emphasizing the importance of refining curricula to integrate emerging fields such as human rights law and international law. Likewise, he highlighted the importance of the Constitution as a living document that binds the nation together. Let us listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
It is an honor and a pleasure, and with a little trepidation, that I stand before you today, because you are our agents of justice, who, whether by choice and necessity, have dared to be able to go through voluminous tomes, read through 100-page contracts without falling asleep. And that alone deserves already applause. But let me tell you, as president, I am going to give you a run for your money. Just last month, I had to read 4,057 pages of the General Appropriations Act for 2025. Because I reviewed it, analyzed it, and, yes, in parts, vetoed it. And so for those of you, and up to now, I cannot find those damned blank items. We'll keep looking, but I really am convinced that they simply do not exist because it is not allowed to exist. So for those of you who think the presidency is just handshakes, photo ops, I assure you that fine print is alive in my office as well. Today, at the 20th National Convention of the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, or IBP, you convene to reflect on the critical role that you play in shaping the legal landscape of our nation. There is no better moment than this to reaffirm our shared commitment to the rule of law, a commitment to ensuring that justice remains the bedrock upon which our democracy stands strong and unshaken. This year's theme, From Milestones to Horizons, Strengthening the Future of the Legal Profession, is both a rallying call and a profound challenge. I have always held deep respect for your profession, not only because of its role in our society, but also because of the examples set by the lawyers that have surrounded me all my life. To begin with my father, all of those who assisted him during his time in government, and to the point that I married a lawyer, my wife, Lisa. I have seen through her how lawyers devote yourself to mentoring aspiring lawyers, also championing free legal clinics, providing assistance to the underserved. These actions remind us that beyond the intellect and skill required by law, it is compassion and service that truly defines the essence of this noble profession. I also learned a valuable lesson very early on, one that I carry with me to this day. Never argue with your wife, especially if she is a lawyer. It is not a debate you will ever win, because for a layman, we sit there and you begin to feel the application of trial technique, something which we are not too accustomed with. So what starts as a simple yes-no question eventually transforms into, it depends. And before you know it, you are knee-deep in case law, precedent, and a cross-examination that you did not sign up for. But on a more serious note, she has shown me the incredible depth and nuance of the law and the minds that practice it. In this era of technological advancement, economic transformation, and global interdependence, you stand at the forefront of an unprecedentedly dynamic and therefore challenging landscape. The emergence of issues such as cybercrime, data privacy, and the ethical use of artificial intelligence presents not only technical dilemmas, but moral ones as well. And therefore, they demand our continued commitment to protect human dignity in an increasingly digital world. The recent adoption of the Code of Professional Responsibility and Accountability is a significant step forward, a declaration that the highest ethical standards must guide every member of the legal community. The task before us now is to ensure that this code becomes the very foundation of how our lawyers live and practice. Equally pressing is the existential challenge of our time, and that is climate crisis. This is no longer an abstract threat that is spoken about at the high levels of science. It is a reality that jeopardizes the very survival of future generations. Your field plays a vital role in this endeavor, crafting and upholding stronger environmental policies that protect our shared home, developing the concept of environmental justice. By doing so, you safeguard the rights of today and preserve the dreams and dignity of those that will follow us. Strengthening the legal profession, however, demands more than responding to crises. It also requires reinforcing your field's very foundations, education, continuous learning. The next generation of lawyers must be prepared to meet the challenges of this ever-changing world. And so the 3,962 new lawyers, welcome to the front lines of justice. Your journey begins now. And that journey, with it, a tremendous opportunity is granted you to shape a society that is fairer, more equitable, more inclusive. As the legal profession evolves, so too must our learning institutions. Law schools must continually adapt to the demands of the times by refining their curricula, integrating emerging fields, and ensuring a seamless blend of legal theory and real-world application. The revised model curriculum of the Basic Law program already sets the stage by incorporating human rights law and international law at its core. And yet our challenge is to ensure that these principles are not confined to the pages of textbooks or the halls of courtrooms, but are lived and breathed, always guided by the Constitution and the values that it upholds. As members of the legal community, you are in the most fitting position to safeguard that Constitution, that living document that embodies our collective aspiration and that binds us together as a people. A decade ago, the Philippine Constitution Association awarded me the title of the Great Protector of the Constitution. When I accepted the award, I could not help but marvel at the irony, a non-lawyer entrusted with such a lofty title. But that is the beauty of democracy and the enduring power of our Constitution. It allows even the most unexpected candidates, like a layman myself, to play a role in protecting its principles. And there lies the heart of the matter. Being a vanguard of the Constitution transcends political affiliation, family legacy, profession. At its core, it is about ensuring that justice is more than just an ideal written on paper. It is about ensuring that it exists in the real world, in the lives of every ordinary citizen. In this light, we must embrace a simple but profound truth. The law must serve all Filipinos, not just the privileged few. Justice must find its way to the margins where it is most needed, reaching the underserved, the unseen, the unheard. After all, the Constitution is meant to be wielded with purpose and compassion, especially for those who need it the most. Initiatives such as the Unified Legal Aid Service rules, which require lawyers to render at least 60 hours of pro bono legal aid every 3 years for indigent Filipinos, is very commendable. Equally notable are the IBP's tireless efforts to provide legal assistance. Legal assistance is provided both here and abroad, bringing us closer to a justice system that serves everyone. The launch of additional secure justice hubs in August 2022 and March of 2023 has also been pivotal in bridging the gap between marginalized communities and the justice that they deserve but seldom see. By embracing technology and championing alternative dispute resolution, the IBP has ensured that fairness and efficiency in legal remedies are accessible to all Filipinos. No less significant is the pro bono portal introduced by the same institution in April of last year. This digital platform has redefined the delivery of legal aid, offering free courtroom representation, legal counseling, document preparation, and developmental legal assistance to the disadvantaged. Along with these initiatives, the IBP conducts bench and bar dialogues which foster collaboration amongst judges, justices, prosecutors, practicing lawyers, and enhancing in the process the legal processes that we are using. This administration remains your partner in nurturing the environment where our lawyers excel, where justice is swift, where it is fair, where it is impartial, and where the rule of law remains the cornerstone of all progress. Towards this end, we have enacted 14 new laws establishing additional first and second level courts across the country, bringing justice closer to our people. And as we move forward, I encourage everyone to enrich your commitment to truth and to fairness. Embrace the highest standards of professionalism and embody the ideals of integrity and of service. United by this shared vision of equity, let us build a bagong Pilipinas where the rule of law reigns supreme, where peace and security shape every community, and where every Filipino enjoys the enduring gifts of liberty.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
On Thursday, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. said political differences could not be avoided, but strong collaboration among government officials is key to attaining the development agenda. Speaking before the Visayas governors and one Cebu officials at the Cebu provincial capital in Cebu City, the president advised his fellow government officials not to be distracted by issues that would only deter their work and affect the people who are counting on them. Despite the prevailing political differences, President Marcos said he never regrets being elected president, stressing that assuming the highest position in the country is the greatest honor and privilege that any human being can ever be granted by his own people. The chief executive said public service becomes fulfilling if like-minded public servants are committed to building a more reliable, a more efficient, a more compassionate government. While President Marcos acknowledged that his administration's development initiatives are ambitious, he expressed confidence that a strong collaboration between the national and local governments will transform the plans into reality. Let us listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
When the First Lady first came back from that trip that we saw in the video, and she said that she was so touched by the expressions of support that were made during her trip. Sabi niya, it was so touching. She said that I cried. I shed a tear. And I was teasing her and said, ikaw kasi masyado kang iyakin eh. Kaya madali kang payakin. Well, after today, after the overwhelming expressions of support that I have received today, well, I understand perfectly well why she shed that tear. Thank you. Thank you so much. I would also like to add to the story of Governor Petilla, because we have had the same experience of being a congressman, governor, and in my case, congressman again. And after I was governor, nag-graduate na ako, and I ran for congressman. And those governors who have become congressmen will understand what I'm going to say next. And I was looking at my other fellow governors na nag-graduate din, na nag-congressman, and we were saying, wala tayong ginagawa dito sa house. Para tayo nag-aantay, na nakikinig lang yung speech, at saka kung minsan hindi na nga nakikinig, basta kung ano-ano lang ginagawa. So that was the opposite side of your story. And I said, sabi ko, we were 18. I remember very well because I started to organize all the former governors. And ang sabi ko, alam ninyo, ito na yung chance natin. Sabi ko, bakit? Naging congressman tayo lahat, governor tayo lahat. Lahat ng problema natin sa mga congressman natin noon, ayusin na natin ngayon. And that's what we did. So that we found a job for governors who had become congressmen. So I'm very happy that we share the same experiences when it comes to local government. I have always tried to, people have called me a champion for local government. I don't know if I am a champion for, I just like to point out the role that local government plays and to make people understand more deeply what it is that local government does and why local government is it can be effective and needs to be supported, and in the ways that the national government, the national entities, agencies can support it. And so that is why I have the stories that you tell are something that are stories that are very familiar to me. And I will only dispute one part of Gov. Petilla's remarks when he said na sometimes nagsisisi ako. Actually, hindi. Not for one single moment. Because even though there's much that needs to be done, unang-una iba yung approach. Ang dami mong problema. Hindi problema yan. Trabaho ko yan. That's my job. These are not problems. This is the job that you meant to do. And the reason that I never regret being in this position is that I have been in political life for most of my adult life. And I can I can say with great confidence that being president, being of this service at this level, is the greatest honor and privilege that any human being can ever be granted by his own people. When we have succeeded in putting a program together, and you begin to see what are the effects of that program, I always think to myself, and I say to the people around me, napakaswerte natin na nagagawa natin ito para tulungan ang tao. And that is where I get my strength from. That is where I get my inspiration from. Not from the high levels of government, but from watching ordinary people and knowing somehow, I have been granted a privilege and the opportunity to serve them and serve them well. Governors know this too. Governors, mayors, local government people know this too. Because our actions, as executives, our actions are direct. And I say, you have to listen to local government. Because ang mga local government, mga LGU officials, ang kausap nila tao, hindi politiko. Ang kausap nila yung ordinaryo na citizen. Kaya alam nila kung ano yung iniisip ng tao, kaya pakinggan ninyo ang local government. And that's what I always say. So we are happy. I'm very, very happy that I am amongst kindred spirits when I come here. And from those kindred spirits, this overwhelming, it's inspiring expression of support from all the provinces in the Visayas at all levels in those provinces. Thank you very much for that, and it is something that I will carry in my heart to my dying day. And it's fine that we do it all here today in Cebu, solidified by our collective role as partners in service to the Filipino people. So I appreciate your expressions of appreciation and your trust, your confidence and support to this administration. Public service becomes fulfilling when we are joined by like-minded public servants, each of us committed to the noble goal of building a more reliable, a more efficient, a more compassionate government. Sa loob ng 2.5 taon ng ating pamumuno, marami na tayong naisulong at naisagawang mga programa at proyekto naglalayong maipabuti ang buhay ng bawat Pilipino. But through your leadership and the assistance of the national government, the Central Visayas region has ranked as the fastest growing region in the country, growing at 7.3% in 2023. That is at the national level, ambisyon lang namin yan na umabot ng 7.2%. Congratulations for the good work that you have been doing. Eastern Visayas has also showed a remarkable 6.4% growth, faster than the country's GDP in the same year. This growth supports the development of industries, creates jobs and livelihoods for our people. That is why we are not stopping here. We are doing more. We will do more. Our duties as public servants are never ending. So we continuously push, not only to maintain this growth, but also to leverage on the momentum that it has given us. Patuloy pa natin ipapalago ang iba't ibang industriya, gaya ng turismo, agrikultura, manufacturing. Sa pangunguna ni Department of Tourism, Secretary Frasco, na isang proud Bisaya at Cebuana, patuloy ang paghihikayat natin sa mga turista na bisitahin ang mga malaparaisong isla sa Cebu, sa Aklan, sa Bohol, Iloilo, Samar Island, Leyte, Southern Leyte, at iba pang mga magagandang lugar nandito sa Visayas. Ilan sa mga inaabangan nating proyekto dito sa Cebu ay ang New Cebu International Container Port. Pinapalawig ng Cebu Bus Rapid Transit Project na pinag-usapan namin ng matagal sa RDC kanina. At sana naman magawa natin ng paraan para ito mabuo ng maganda. At ang pagsimula ng pang-apat na tulay ng Cebu-Mactan at Coastal Road Construction Project. We are also implementing projects to improve the airports of Bohol, of Dumaguete, of Iloilo, Antique, Siquijor, Tacloban. We are implementing road and bridge projects, improving the connectivity in Panay, Guimaras, and Negros, Bohol, Siquijor, Biliran, Northern Samar, Eastern Samar, Samar, Leyte, and Southern Leyte. The administration's development plans are ambitious, but I'm confident that with your leadership, coupled with our strong collaboration, we will transform these plans into reality. It cannot be discounted that disagreements and contradicting views are inevitable. But let's be reminded that our shared commitment is to the greater good, and that must be our unifying force. Ladies and gentlemen, our people cannot afford to wait for the benefits of economic growth to trickle down and to translate into improved services, modern infrastructure, and better livelihood. We must take the initiative so that the distribution of wealth has a mechanism. Because without such a mechanism, there is no such thing as trickle down. And the economists amongst us have seen this in the past, where the theory was that if big corporations are wealthy, that wealth will trickle down. Well, it will only do so with the initiatives that are brought in by our local government officials and our public servants. It does not happen by itself. It happens because you all make it happen. We must not waste precious time to deliver the reforms that people need. Let's not be distracted by issues that will only deter our work and affect the people who are counting on us. Our effectivity as elected public officials is defined by how we remain true to our mandate to serve, to lead, and empower our fellow Filipinos. Let us remember that the true essence of our democracy unfolds not just in the casting of the ballot, but in the everyday actions and decisions that we make as lawmakers and policy implementers in the service of the public. Kaya naman, ang aking panawagan ay masusi ninyong pag-aralan ang bawat programa at proyekto ng inyong ipapatupad. Planuhin ng maayos ang pagpapatupad ng mga ito at tapusin at maumpisahan sa tamang schedule, lalong-lalo na ang mga priority development project. Tiyakin natin na ang mga susunod na henerasyon ay makikinabang sa ating mga nasimulang pagbabago. We cannot stress this enough, but let us always serve with integrity, with responsibility and passion in our hearts. I know that if we are guided by the highest ideals of good governance, we can never go astray. Once again, I thank you from my deepest part of my heart for your very kind and overwhelming and inspirational support. Let us continue to deliver services that are expected from our bagong Pilipinas. Let us continue to be reliable public servants. Let us continue our good work.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Yang expressed appreciation for the continuing support of Filipinos to the administration of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. This as a social weather station or SWS survey conducted from the 12th to the 18th of December 2024 found that 59% or majority of adult Filipinos were satisfied with the administration's performance, while 23% were dissatisfied and 17% were undecided. In a statement Thursday, Secretary Lucas Bersamin said, "The palace is grateful for the people's support, as reflected in surveys that have consistently placed them in overwhelmingly positive territory." According to the SWS poll, the administration retained a net satisfaction rating of plus 36, classified as good. The administration received very good ratings in 5 key areas: helping victims of disaster, improving the quality of children's education, assisting the poor, job creation policies, and developing science and technology. 7 areas were rated good: implementing housing programs for the poor, ensuring food security, maintaining an efficient public transportation system, disaster preparedness for typhoons, addressing climate change, telling the truth to the people, and defending Philippine sovereignty in the West Philippine Sea. The administration received a moderate rating in ensuring no family goes hungry. However, Bersamin stressed that survey results are mere weather vane for public opinion.
Dateline Malacañang.
Still on Thursday, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. said the inauguration of a new runway in Mactan Cebu International Airport, or MCIA, is just a snapshot of the government's commitment to infrastructure development. In his speech, the president noted that the aviation infrastructure program will get 7.7 billion pesos this year for the upgrade of 15 more airports nationwide. President Marcos said the government aims to modernize facilities, improve connectivity, and acquire state-of-the-art navigational equipment. The chief executive said the new MCIA runway, the first and only parallel runway in the Philippines, is a bold leap forward as it would help improve Cebu province's competitiveness, connectivity, and capacity to take in visitors. The alternate runway is a 2.56-kilometer infrastructure project designed to meet increasing air traffic demand and accommodate passenger and cargo volumes, ensuring uninterrupted airport operations during emergencies, maintenance, and runway closures. Let us listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
There really is something special about Cebu. It's a place where history and progress come together very gracefully, where tradition converges with innovation, and where the grit and tenacity of its people shine brightly in every achievement. Today, we celebrate a new victory in Cebu's remarkable and ongoing story, one that shows why this province continues to inspire hope and progress for other provinces and certainly for the entire nation. This new runway at the Mactan-Cebu International Airport reflects the very essence of Cebu. It is dynamic, promising, and always ready to take on challenges. And just as Cebu has been a center of trade and tourism, this parallel runway symbolizes the unrelenting drive to connect and to grow and to lead. Last year, this airport catered to 8.5 million domestic passengers, nearly 3 million, 2.8 million international passengers, and around 67 million kilograms of cargo. Nearly 100,000 flights, 99,100 flights. This airport has been instrumental not only in the development of this province, but also of the Central Visayas region and other provinces that are served by flights from Mactan-Cebu International Airport. And in those, we must include the destinations that the feeder flights take, not only to the Visayas region, but down to Mindanao and even up back to Luzon. As the first and only parallel runway in the Philippines, this runway is a bold leap forward. It will help in your competitiveness, in your connectivity, and in your capacity to take in visitors. This milestone would not have been possible without the firm determination of the Mactan-Cebu International Airport Authority, the unwavering support of all the stakeholders, and the dedication of all the partners working together in concert and coming to this great achievement. Amidst the immense challenges of the pandemic, each of you exemplified the strength and ingenuity of the Filipino people. Because despite health risks and uncertainties, you pressed on with courage and commitment, striving for the completion of this very important runway. So, on behalf of the entire nation, daghang salamat. This occasion comes at a very important moment, aligning perfectly with our preparations to undertake critical repairs on the airport's first runway starting this May. For the first time in our nation's aviation history, we embark on a major repair of an airport's first runway without impeding ongoing operations. It is a testament to what passion for excellence, meticulous preparation, and consistent efforts can achieve. And as I was commenting to the governor on our way over here, nauna na naman, inunahan na naman ng Cebu ang Maynila. Dahil matagal na natin pinaplano yung sa Maynila, pinag-uusapan pa lang yung sa Maynila, tapos na yung nandito sa Cebu Mactan. By 2028, we expect the parallel runway to be used simultaneously together with the original runway, ensuring greater efficiency and capacity to meet the demands of a rapidly evolving and growing aviation industry. With 2 runways running full-time, the airport will have the capacity, the capability to cater to up to 18 million passengers a year. It's only a snapshot of all the exciting things that are happening in our airport infrastructure. It is part of a broader vision to advance development of our country's infrastructure. This vision is anchored in the principle of good governance and a collective desire to uplift the lives of our people, recognizing that progress in connectivity translates to progress in opportunities. Under the Aviation Infrastructure Program, we have allocated 7.7 billion pesos under this year's budget for the upgrade of 15 airports nationwide. This underscores our resolve to modernize facilities and ensure connectivity across the archipelago. Through this program, we can construct, rehabilitate, and enhance runways, taxiways, ramps, control towers, passenger terminals, while at the same time acquiring state-of-the-art navigational equipment. No less significant is the implementation of our flagship PPP project, which aimed to develop the gateways to our countries. Just last year, we signed a concession agreement for the Bohol-Panglao International Airport PPP project and also the Laguindingan International Airport PPP project. These initiatives will substantially increase the passenger capacity of both Bohol-Panglao and Laguindingan airports. As we look into the future, let us remember that endeavors such as these are the stepping stones to a nation ready to take on unparalleled heights. To our partners in the tourism industry, led of course by the, as you described by the governor, the pride of Cebu. This is your chance to showcase once again and even more the best of Cebu, and with that, the best of the Philippines. To our business community, this brings forth more opportunities to enter global markets and to attract greater investments. To every Filipino, let this day attest to what we can attain when we set aside differences, focus on our shared goals, and work together for the common good. So as we officially open this runway, let us see it as opening new doors to progress, prosperity, and the realization of our shared dreams. So together, let us create a bagong Pilipinas, a nation that transforms, that innovates, and inspires the rest of the world.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Thursday said the move to challenge the constitutionality of the 2025 General Appropriations Act or GAA before the Supreme Court or SC is a deliberate attempt to destabilize the government. This as the President admitted that there is no contingency plan in case the SC rules in favor of the petition. In a media interview in Cebu City, President Marcos said Solicitor General Menardo Guevara, on behalf of the Philippine government, would be the one to answer the petition questioning the legality of the 2025 national budget. Davao City 3rd District Representative Isidro Ungab, former Executive Secretary Vic Rodriguez, and other former government officials have filed a petition questioning the constitutionality of certain provisions in the 2025 GAA. The petitioners claimed that the alleged blank items in the bicameral report for the 2025 national budget undermine transparency and accountability in the budget process. Guevara, who represents the government in legal proceedings, said he would make the argument before the SC if directed to do so. He stressed that in the meantime, the validity, regularity, and constitutionality of the 2025 GAA is legally presumed.
Well, I've read some of the filing, the complaint. Well, the Solzhen, of course, will be the ones who will argue for the government, and he tells me, Solzhen Maynard tells me that we are on a solid footing in terms of constitutionality. I don't know why they bothered to file that, because napakahirap ng kanilang assertion. It clearly doesn't. Well, anyway, it's not for me to make the argument. We'll let the Soldier make the argument before the Supreme Court, and we're very confident that our case is strong. No, we shut down everything. I guess that's what they want. They want the government to cease working. So yung matuloy yung kanilang mga destabilization na ginagawa.
That was Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Thursday said he would meet with United States President Donald Trump to discuss the latter's new policies on foreign assistance, trade, defense and security, and immigration. In a media interview in Cebu City, the president said the Philippine government would make a way to influence the U.S.'s policy making in terms of immigration. The Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, earlier said it is almost impossible that the estimated 300,000 Filipinos without legal status in the U.S. would be deported by the end of the Trump administration. The U.S. deported only a few hundred or less undocumented Filipinos every month during the first Trump presidency, the DFA added. When it comes to the U.S.'s temporary suspension of foreign assistance, President Marcos said it is hard to comment because the policy is not yet clear.
I will meet with President Trump because I should, because there's much that we need to discuss between the U.S. and the Philippines in terms of the trade, in terms of defense and security, and now the new policy on immigration. Nagpauwi na yata ng 100 na Pilipino. So this is something that we have to work through and hopefully resolve, because the Filipinos in the United States especially have really formed a very important part already of their workforce. So we'll see how we can influence the policy making in terms of immigration. Hindi pa maliwanag. It's hard to comment because on the freezing of the aid, there's a court that blocked it. So it's not just, it's very unclear what it is. Because even the agencies in the U.S. government, hindi nila naintindihan what it means. Ano yung tatamaan, saan yung babawasan ang aid fund. So, well, this is what happens. These are the growing pains of a new administration. But I'm sure that with time, these policies will crystallize and it will become clearer. And by which time, I will have a chance to visit with President Trump, and we can discuss it with a better understanding of what the policies are.
That was Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Finally, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Thursday clapped back at China's criticisms of the deployment of the United States Typhoon missile system to the Philippines, stating that he would be willing to have the military hardware pulled out of the country if Chinese aggression in the West Philippine Sea, or WPS, stops. In a media interview in Cebu City, the Philippine president addressed China's objections to the missile system, emphasizing that Manila had not commented on Beijing's much larger missile arsenal. President Marcos then proposed a deal with China, halt its aggressive actions and territorial claims over the Philippines, and in exchange, the Philippines would consider recalling the missile system.
Well, I don't understand the comments on the Typhoon missile system. We don't make any comments on their missile systems, and their missile systems are 1,000 times more powerful than what we have. So I don't understand. You know, let's make a deal with China. Stop claiming our territory. Stop harassing our fishermen and let them have a living. Stop ramming our boats. Stop water cannoning our people. Stop firing lasers at us. And stop your aggressive and coercive behavior. And I'll return the Typhoon missiles.
The remarks come amid ongoing tensions in the South China Sea, where China has continued its maritime assertiveness, including incidents of harassment against Filipino fishermen and Coast Guard personnel in contested waters. The Philippines has repeatedly raised concerns over China's military presence and actions in the region, which Manila deems as violations of its sovereignty. The U.S. deployed the Typhoon missile system to the Philippines in April last year as part of the Balikatan military exercises and has reportedly stayed in the country since. The move has drawn the ire of China, which repeatedly called for its withdrawal. Filipino soldiers will reportedly train on the U.S. military's intermediate range missile system during unilateral army drills next month.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, Radyo Pilipinas World Service of the Presidential Broadcast Service is heard over the following shortwave frequencies: 9.475 MHz, 15.640 MHz, and 17.820 MHz. You can also visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel at Radyo Pilipinas World Service. You will be able to hear and view our Filipino and English programs, including news updates here in the Philippines. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our posts as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang in Review. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.